girl. Welcome to another episode in the season finale of America. I'm Jimmy Fallon in for Greg Gutfeld. We're not sure what the king of late night is up to, but the way things are going in this country, he may have just gotten a job modeling women's yoga pants, for all we know. Yeah, and another time a biological man like Greg couldn't have been hired to model women's clothes, but he probably could model children's clothes at his height, let's be honest. Of course, I bring up children because Disneyland, which once considered itself the happiest place on Earth, is continuing its ongoing quest to become the wokest place on Earth. Check it out. Disneyland just announced its first LGBT Pride Night in an effort to clap back across the country at Ron DeSantis in an ongoing culture war that started when he passed what the left claimed was a Don't Say Gay bill. The only problem there is, like every other Disney story, Don't Say Gay was a pure fantasy. The Parental Rights and Education Act didn't even mention the word gay on any of its 6 original pages, or in its expansion of the bill. It simply made it illegal to teach sexual activity or sexual identity to children between the ages of kindergarten and 3rd grade. Because let's face it, growing up, we had a word for people who wanted to talk sex with little kids. They were called pedophiles. And DeSantis wisely pushed that crap out of the classrooms, not because he hated gay kids or trans kids, but because he hated the idea of sexualizing kids. And you know who else didn't ask to have adults sexualizing little kids or telling them they were trapped in the wrong body? Little kids. Bingo. Circle gets a square. No little kid was asking to go for a ride on Snow White and the 7 Genders. Nope. No little boy wanted to be Peter Pan sexual. No, ma'am. And no little girl was asking to dress up as a princess named Cinderfella. This only happens when woke parents force their politics on children the way Disney's woke board is forcing its politics on parents. You see, they're trying to clap back against their own straw man argument that DeSantis banned gay people. But hello, nobody who's ever been to Key West thinks Florida banned gay people. Yo, South Beach is so gay, they have a Pride Month for straight people. Disney claims they're carrying on with this event in the name of inclusion. But we know that's a scam, because if Disney really cared about including as many people as possible, they wouldn't charge $120 to get in, you know? Thank you. Stop it. Last I checked, the prices were keeping out a lot more kids than the pronouns, Disney. Nope. This Pride Night is a way for Disney to score points with its woke culture warriors while doing what it does best, which is ripping off parents. Take it from a guy who knows. I took my son to Disney back in 2012 when I was a cab driver. Couldn't try the food because we couldn't get a cosigner, but the point is we had a good time. And when I got done turning tricks behind Space Mountain, my credit card was level. Sorry if they did home for a few people. Thought some of you fellas looked familiar. But the point is, Disney doesn't care about inclusion because they have the most exclusionary prices of any theme park on the planet, and don't let them pretend they care about gay people, because Disney's streaming service does business in over a dozen countries that criminalize gay activity. For real. This is a company that calls DeSantis a homophobe while they squeeze every last dollar they can out of countries where gay behavior is punishable by fines, prison sentences, and hard labor. And not the type of hard labor Chadwick Moore offered me in the green room either. Disney makes plenty of money in Saudi Arabia, which treats same-sex activity with chemical castrations, and in Yemen, where being gay is punishable by death. Not to mention that Disney Cruise Lines charge a starting price of $3,800 a person to sail to Antigua, Dominica, and St. Martin, where 2 guys kissing will not have a happy ending. Well, it might, but they'll get arrested if they get caught in the act. So, yo, Disney. Keep up with the group. So, yo, Disney, how about instead of hollering about don't say gay, you don't say anything? Because it may be a small world after all, but it's a huge double standard in your case, girlfriend. And I know DeSantis' Republican rivals are criticizing him for taking away Disney's special tax privileges and joking that he might build a state prison next to the park. And today, Florida updated that education bill on instruction about sexual orientation and gender identity, and it now includes grades 4 through 12 unless the curriculum is taught in a reproductive health lesson. Now listen, we could argue for days over whether DeSantis is taking this too far, but let's not forget where it started. A governor stood up to the outrage mob and the biggest corporation in his state to say that he wasn't going to let anyone sexualize kindergarten kids. They tried spinning that into some sort of homophobia, even a bit of transphobia with zero supporting evidence. You know the old saying, when you have the facts, you pound the facts, but when you have nothing, you pound the table. Woke corporations like Disney have been pounding the table, but the joke of it all is nobody asked them to. Look, are kids going to grow up to be sexual beings someday? Sure they are, especially if R. Kelly can help it. I'm like, how is he not a bail risk, by the way? He believes he can fly. You know what I mean? But seriously, Disneyland is where you go to escape adulthood, even when you're adult, which is why this parent thinks DeSantis is all the way right for pushing back on the left's obsession with sexualizing little kids. Just because families like Toy Story doesn't mean Disney should be trying to give our kids a Woody. Let's welcome tonight's guests. She knows markets better than a Wuhan bat. Fox Business anchor, Lauren Simonetti in the house. Freddie Mercury is gone, but he will rock you. Contributing editor of The Spectator, Chadwick Moore. If ticket sales were beer, his would be Bud Light. Comedian Joe DeVito, we love you. We love him. Tough, we love you. Stop. The staff put me up to that. You know I love you. And cops used to throw the book at her, but now she's a best-selling author. You damn right she is. Fox News contributor, Kat Timpf is here for the win. Bang. Chadwick, I will go to you first, girlfriend.
Why would you choose me first?
Well done. But for a second, speaking as a gay man, let's take politics out of this for a second. Explain why this is all the left's fault.
Well, and the reaction is, it's just so stupid and pathetic. I mean, Disney's had a gay days for, like, ever. So now they're going to say, we're adding a gay night, too, just to stick it to you, DeSantis. And it's not even at the Florida park. It's at the one in California.
Yep. But I feel like it's just such a strongman argument. I'll come to you for a second, Kat. We have tons of gay friends, okay? And we don't ever want a world where they don't feel accepted or included, but don't you think Pride is almost being, like, misrepresented now as an FU to half the country who didn't have a problem with Pride?
I actually took a huge issue with something you said in your monologue.
Give it to me.
That I wrote it down.
Okay, give it to me.
Disneyland is where you go to escape adulthood, even when you're an adult. That's not true. That's the bar. I think that's alcohol. I mean, I think it's strange when adults go to Disney as a recreational activity. I've said this many times, and everybody who gets upset at me for saying it proves my point. When I see, like, let's go to your bachelorette party in Disneyland. We can drink around the world, or for the same price, you can drink around the actual world. Like, let's go to Europe. But again, Chadwick, like you said, I thought this is not new. It's like Pride. If you want to, like, okay, that's fine.
It's kind of stupid. If you were a Disney shareholder, you're a business person, when it comes to this conflict and this manufactured culture war, would you make like Princess Elsa and let it go?
Well, it's not being let go.
I know.
At the movie theater. Strange World.
Yep.
My 4-year-old, his friend had a birthday party there, and parents actually canceled when they found out of the movie that they were showing. Because of the crush in it, the gay crush. That was supposed to be a blockbuster. It failed big time. 2 movies Disney put out last year tanked because they're pushing these values on Americans who are saying, yeah, I'll teach my child this when I'm ready. I'm not going to take them to, like, the theater and have them be introduced to concepts that they're just not ready for. I think people going to the park don't really care so much because they're there to spend an arm and a leg and have so much fun and just escape. But guess what? Pride Night, you have to pay even more for. It's $140, and it's ticketed. So there is a separation there. So as a shareholder, I think you can sort of ignore it. Where you can't ignore it is if DeSantis wins in this fight and some of those perks that Disney has had for decades get pulled away.
Now, I would love to see that, just because I think it would encourage other corporations to, like, chill out.
Do you want the prison next to Walt Disney World?
That's kind of
That
funny.
would be amazing, said nobody ever.
Joey D, would you care more about this story if you were tall enough to get on the rides?
Well, for your information, I like the It's a Small World ride because the singing dolls are the same size as me. Yeah. So there. I dated one for 4 years, but she kept singing the song in the bedroom. It was very awkward. First, charging an arm and a leg. Ableist.
Canceled, Simonetti, canceled.
I don't mind this as much because it's an evening event. I think it might just be for adults, so it's not quite the same. You can bring kids?
I believe, yeah.
Well, you know, I don't mind a Pride Night, a Pride Day, a Pride Dusk. I got some issues with a Pride Dusk. I don't care for that. But if you take away the children aspect of Disney, it's very creepy. Yeah. It's weird, because just look at the characters. You've got the whole Duck family running around. They're pantsless. Scrooge McDuck is rubbing his ass in a room full of coins. This is very strange.
Scrooge McDuck was the original OnlyFans. You know?
He was. He had to get those coins. And look at Goofy and Pluto. I mean, one's wearing a turtleneck, the other one's got a collar and a chain. It's very perverse. So I don't think it's a big deal, and I don't like when people say, what about straight pride? You want to know about straight pride? Take a look at my browser history. Tell me what you see there that anyone should be proud of.
But let me ask you this. Do you feel like on some level, I had kind of alluded to this earlier, there's like this straw man argument being waged that the gay community is under attack when we are so far past. If you look at pop culture and who's successful and who's selling and sitcoms, are they kind of weaponizing, like hijacking this in a way to kind of make it a point of contention when one wouldn't really exist? Like, meaning we don't care if gay kids go to Disney World. That's obviously not an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because especially now with, I mean, Gen Z is the first generation to come of age post-gay marriage when basically, I mean, the gay rights movement is, it's over. It's effectively over. It's totally over. And yet we've raised this generation of people that feel like they need to be freedom fighters in some respect. At least keyboard freedom fighters.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, it's pathetic. And you know, it's they really have nothing strong that they're actually fighting for. It's just these silly little battles.
Yeah.
And they have to invent what's not there, like in Ron DeSantis' bill in Florida.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely very straightforward. And instead it's been billed as don't say gay and just acting gay people.
Total scam.
Total scam.
Let me ask you this as a parent, though, because they want to tell us that, you know, we need to care more about the well-being of these children. But should anybody be lecturing us about the well-being of children if they're selling a 12-pound turkey leg? You know that thing that... It's literally sick. It looks like it's off a Velociraptor, and you're like, rah, 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 rah. And it's $32 for a turkey leg.
I think that's why so many people are outraged by this, because you save for a vacation. You don't go to Disney every year unless you live in Florida, and then you might not go every year. This is your savings, your planning, and then you go and you have to explain things to your children and spend so much money for the food.
And at no point on the way down do you fantasize about going on a ride called It's a Small Reassignment Surgery After All.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.